The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello, everybody. Yes, we didn't forget. We are back. It is indeed another Soccer to the Max as the summer of soccer. I guess you could say with the 3 different tournaments, it's reaching its crescendo. We've got your opening storylines of the Gold Cup, Women's World Cup group phase winding down, Messi one step closer to rage quitting yet again, as they're currently losing to Paraguay in Copa America. So, there's quite a lot going on, and I, Eric Watkins, am here to talk about a very good chunk of it. But of course, while we don't have our fearless leader and awesome producer, Sean, I could never do this alone. Right beside me is the awesome and, hopefully potentially very ranty Rachel McCreeker.
Oh, and she will be very, very ranty. Buckle up, folks. It's a fun day.
Okay, let's start. Before we get into the rants, the streak is over. After more than 600 days, the U.S. men's team finally plays a competitive match. It happens to be quite historic, as it's the 700th all-time match in the history of the men's national team, and it just so happens to be against one of the, at least in theory, easier opponents for the group stage of the Gold Cup. I'm going to say this. I saw the line US minus 4.5. I knew we weren't going to cover. I didn't think it was going to be close, but 4-0, it's like, okay-ish.
I think it should have been more. I think there should have been more chances in the first half. There really weren't a lot of those chances. I think the United States was playing a little too timid at times. Really opened up in the second half. Can't really say too much in regard to, was Paul Ariola's goal the big breakthrough? I don't think the big breakthrough came until that first goal, from Tyler Boyd, with that wicked assist from Michael Bradley, as he still shows that he's still got it. But I think, you kind of look at this and you think, oh, maybe they'll put 13 up like the USA did against Thailand, the ladies, of course. But, I think for playing in their first competitive game, yeah, I think it was a good competitive game. It was, this is still the fifth or sixth game under Berhalter right now, so there's still going to be your learning curves and whatnot. But I think getting a tournament close into the era of Berhalter is a good idea. They're not going to be perfect, of course. I don't even want to talk about, are they going to win the Gold Cup? Are they not going to win the Gold Cup because of, still being in the group phase? You got 2 more games, 2 more tough games, of course, left. I think 4-0 is a good start. I honestly think at the same time, if they would have put up 7-8 goals against Guyana, I think that would have been raising expectations a little too high. But we'll just see about that. 4 goals is not a bad scoreline. I think that first half was a little tense. So I'm excited to see how they start out of the gate on Saturday, and I hope it's a bit more loose. I hope it's a bit more free, because I think they were too compact and too defensive in the first half.
And it's one of the main things that I especially wanted to bring up, as we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. The one thing that I like that Berhalter did, and this winds up actually being his 7th match in charge, sticking with the 4-1-4-1. That was a big plus, even though the results against Venezuela weren't entirely the best. But breaking from that sitting back, waiting deep deep, and using like areola out on the wing, kind of crossing into the 18-yard box and setting up opportunities that way. Even for the goal that you mentioned on Tyler Boyd. Bradley, great assist down the middle, but instead of playing so compact, bringing those guys in, that was a really quality move from the style of play. And while everybody was talking about, oh, Canada 4-0 over Martinique, or oh, Mexico 7-0 over Cuba, and it's like, what's going to be the number? What does the number have to be? 4-0 on its face, it has moments of being impressive. Yes, it could have been a little bit more, especially the last 20-25 minutes when Guyana was tired, but for a match to where, as you said, we're growing into a tournament, trying to get things figured out, and especially the situation with Weston McKennie as he had to leave the match, it's good enough for now. And with how somewhat uninspiring Trinidad and Tobago played in their opening match against Panama, I have a little bit of hope that we kind of can shake off that bugaboo and really go into the Panama match in solid footing.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good one for sure. You know, you got 2 tough group stage matches coming up, but I think it's just starting not so fast that you can't control it, but definitely starting fast out of the gate, getting a quick goal, getting some momentum on your side. I think one thing, too, even if you don't get a goal to help get momentum, is getting those corner kicks. And for the first, I think, 10 minutes or so, Guyana had, I think, 2-1 on corner kicks. So, you know, that's kind of going in favor to the Guyana attack. So, I mean, you want to get those numbers up. You want to get your possession up. And, of course, you want to play good balls into the box. You want to get your top guys going. Maybe they'll get Josie Altidore back for this next game. Maybe they'll get him back against Panama. Who knows? But I think for a group of young kids, I think they did a pretty decent job.
They really did. And this is the ideal sort of tournament to really test their mettle. And I'm not going to say, especially now that we don't have bigger things for Confederations Cup or whatever to worry about, I am personally taking the pressure off. I don't feel like we have to win this Gold Cup in order to be cemented, because it's still very early in this World Cup cycle. My big goal is on getting to Qatar, and so should everyone else's be. If we win either this Gold Cup or the one in 2021 along the way, fantastic. But getting this progress, growing into this tournament, and helping us for qualifying, that should be the prize.
Yeah, I think this tournament, too, is something to kind of weed out some of the players. I mean, think about it. You're missing DeAndre Yedlin. You're missing your Josh Sargent. A lot of European guys, you know, maybe somehow, some way, Bobby Wood could get back on his feet and get back into that forward position. You're missing John Brooks, out of all people to be missing. You're missing him. So I think this is kind of, in a way, it's weeding out the MLS guys. It's saying, okay, who do we got that's, you know, good enough to stay and compete with these European guys for a starting spot, and who's not. Now, you can make the argument against that because, you know, Christian Pulisic is there, Weston McKennie is there, Tyler Adams is there, and whatnot. But I really think, you know, if you're missing those, I think what Berhalter really wants these MLS guys for is forward and defense, and he's trying to weed out which ones are going to be on the roster, might not be starters, but who's going to be on the roster.
And I'm fine with that. It's really, this is the approach that everyone was kind of craving, to where, oh, you're not getting the severe MLS bias of Serena. You're not completely pushing forward and tilting towards Europe like we did under Jurgen Klinsmann. We know we have talent, and we can still build that talent overseas. But also, while we're building that talent overseas, we have a pool of great domestic-based players that can help contribute and be be kind of that in-between. I'm glad to see this is going to be working towards that mix.
Yeah, and I gotta ask you, he used to be a mailman, but what'd you think about Tyler?
Love it, love it, love it. Tyler, I love you. See, this is what happens when you decide. You take off the hat, put down the uniform, put down the mailbag, and play for a real country. You see what this can do to you? Come on now. Thank
No
you
more.
for proving me right.
Hey, no more mailman. It's all about the Outlaws now.
Exactly. Neither rain nor hail nor sleet, blah blah blah. You can forget all of that. You're an outlaw now, and you proved it.
Oh, I miss our mailman chant. We need a game against New Zealand soon.
I mean, Berhalter, if you're listening, Greg, scheduling a friendly against them wouldn't hurt. They could use it. We could use it. Just saying, it could happen at some point.
I mean, that'd be a good storyline. Tyler Boyd against his old team, too.
Exactly. Playing for his mom's country, going up against his dad's country, have the parents in the stands, household divided, yada, yada, yada. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed by him. I mean, 2 goals in your, only second appearance? I mean, that's pretty darn good. And I saw a tweet about him today that I really wanted to bring up because I thought, I don't have it saved, but I don't remember who tweeted it, but they had said, Tyler Boyd doesn't look like somebody who is burdened by the last 2 years. And I thought that was absolutely on point and absolutely right. He looked free as a bird out there, and I think he can really give some new life to this team.
Yeah, and this is just kind of the deep breath, just air that we need. Yes, the last 2 years have been rough. Yes, not qualifying has been rough and going through all this. But we have someone that says, you know what? I'm here. I want to help this team just going forward, both literally and figuratively. And he proved that he did. Plus, it helps that in the 700th match for the men's national team, you happen to score the 1,000th all-time goal. So that's a little bit of a plaque that you should have in your house.
Yeah, it's just a little bit impressive.
Just come to think and seeing the dates, it's like since 1916, and it's like, yeah, that's the same year Copa America started, and look at where everything is now.
Full circle.
So overall, especially with Tyler, keep it up, and like I said, you look better in red, white, and blue than in all white. Just from a fashion sense, you made the right choice. And going into the Trinidad and Tobago match,
dun dun dun.
They got their revenge on their soil. Now it's time to get our revenge on our soil for what happened. I don't think it's going to go as smooth, but if you abandon trying to park the bus those first 10 minutes and just go out guns blazing against this TNT team, you should be fine.
You think they'll be nervous, though? Because I think TNT is going in with a ton of confidence.
Well, it may be, but at the same time, look at how well they did initially against Panama, only to kind of crumble and wind up losing 2-0. So that confidence is going to be kind of waned a little bit.
Yeah. Good point.
So, again, don't get me wrong. TNT would love to add one more scalp and really tighten up this rivalry, especially potentially going into Nations League and all this and that later this year. Who knows? But I think for now, if they had a better result, they would be flying a lot higher. But with what we were able to do, the confidence is more on the U.S. side.
That's a fair assessment.
Now, you had mentioned a certain 13-0. I wanted to kind of put an interesting perspective going into the first real match of the World Cup for the U.S. women's national team. Are you familiar with the country East Timor?
No.
Okay, tell you a little story. They are a very tiny country deep in the Mariana Islands. Go straight as the crow flies from Western Australia for a few hours and you'll arrive. Now, let me flash back to 2006. The Lucephone Games. Think of it as a Portuguese-speaking Olympics.
Okay.
Those games had a futsal tournament. You had big nations, Brazil and Portugal, but you also had smaller nations, Macau, Angola, and East Timor. With there being 5 teams, it was a round-robin tournament. The key tiebreaker was goal difference. Portugal, in one of the early matches of the tournament, faced East Timor. They set a then record, beating the team 56-0.
Holy crap.
Nobody really talked about it. Everybody went on and doing business. One of the last matches of the tournament, Brazil. They knew they were going up against East Timor, and they knew goal differential was the first tiebreaker, knowing that for the final match they had to face off against Portugal. Some of the players had their ideas, but the coach pretty much said, step on their throats.
Mm-hmm.
That strategy worked very effectively. Although later in the match, the players went to the coach and said, hey, we've got everything in the bag. Do we really have to do them like this? Let's let them get one so that way they can tell their kids and grandkids, hey, I scored a goal against Brazil. The coach said no. Remember that world record I told you?
Yes.
It was broken, surreptitiously. That record still stands. Your final score, Brazil 76, East Timor 0.
Ouch.
Brazil went on to play Portugal. That match was a 1-1 draw, and Brazil won the gold medal. So for anybody who will ever again bring up that 13-0 against Thailand, think back to this. No one talked about it. No one really cared. Everyone just acknowledged it for what it was, and it had to be done. Deal with it.
Well said.
That being said, Chile also proved my point, as I very well tweeted when I saw the line against the women's national team, US minus 4.5 and a total of 5. I told everyone this had 2 or 3-0 written all over it. The US made a few too many changes. You even said yourself that they were really underestimating Chile. Bet Chile, take the under. Lo and behold, after a first half that had me sweating bullets, I was indeed proven correct. Aside from a superb performance in goal by Endler, Rachel, why was I right? Why did I see this and you see this and very few others did?
I mean, listen, it's great that these players got their first ever World Cup chance. Jess McDonald made the most of it. I kind of feel for Emily Sonnet because of all the VAR checking. She only really got like 9 minutes or so. Tierna Davidson, she played excellent. She had 2 assists. She didn't look like a 20-year-old rookie out there. She was absolutely phenomenal. But that was a very second team lineup. I mean, starting the certain players that they did. Yes, you still had your Haran in there. You had Dahlkemper in there. your whole front three was swapped out. And now, granted, I mean, that quote-unquote second-string team could very well be a first-team starting team. But at the same time, that is a lineup I expected to see against Thailand. And if the games were switched, if we would have faced Thailand second, then I absolutely believe that we would have seen that lineup against Thailand. But we played Thailand first, and we wanted to get those big guns out there, and we wanted to get those goals to make up for the goal differential and whatnot. But at the same time, I think they really, really underestimated Chile's attack because they have really good, strong attackers. I mean, they're young, they're going to go at you. The one time that the defense was tested, they let them go right through them. I don't remember who had the ball, but she took a shot. And Alyssa Nair got saved with the offside flag. If she wouldn't have been saved by that offside flag, there would have been a lot of whispers going around about her. And you still heard the name after that. Hope Solo wouldn't have let that happen. Hope Solo this, Hope Solo that. And you know what? For a while I was saying, hey, maybe we should back off. Maybe we should quit saying Hope Solo's name. No, I think after that, keep saying it. Because something needs to get Nair to wake up. She shouldn't have been sleeping against Chile, and she was. She very much underestimated them. Ellis underestimated. They still got the win, yeah, but they definitely underestimated them.
And it's this kind of, arrogance that we talked about so often with Jill and these players that it makes me legitimately nervous going into this match against Sweden. Yes, we're going to have our supposed first team out there, but I still see a lot of those cracks that even though Sweden shouldn't be as good as we are, they're going to have a lot of moments and they're going to take advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, I think their goalkeeper said it today in a quote I saw somewhere on Fox Soccer. She said, they're going to talk, we're going to come and play. And I think there's so much conversation, there's so many distractions around this U.S. women's national team. And I think that Sweden's this kind of underdog team. I think we can both agree on that. And I think that it's going to be a tough test. It's going to be the first real test. I mean, Christine Endler was hats off. I mean, go give her the Golden Glove right now. But, I mean, you didn't really get tested too much against Chile. So this is going to be a big test. The last time we played them in the group stage, it was 0-0. It's going to be a tough test. I don't know who's going to come out on top. For some reason, I'm really thinking it's going to be Sweden. I don't think Sweden's going to play as defensively as they did in the 2016 Olympics. We'll just see. Tomorrow can't get here fast enough. I'm very excited for the game.
So am I, and I'm going to say this right now. Whatever the spread, unless it's maybe a half or a quarter of a goal in the U.S.'s favor, I'm betting Sweden. Would it surprise me if this ends up in a scoreless or a 1-1 draw? Absolutely not. I did hear that the total was 2.5. I would go ahead and bet the under. I'm not going to expect a whole lot of offense from this matchup. It's going to be free-flowing, but I expect their back line to perform just as well or even better than ours.
The only reason I really want the United States to either win or draw is because I want them to end up playing France in that quarterfinal. Oh, that would just be the icing on top of the World Cup cake for me. But I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be and I think this is your big question mark match. Huge question mark. This one and Canada and Netherlands tomorrow are just two giant question marks.
Yeah, in these, especially with how the groups have shaken out so far, and we're getting a pretty good look at the knockout bracket, it's these are question marks, and then once you head into the round of 16, your head could explode, because you can't predict half of these things to all the chaos that's happened just in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, goodness, chaos isn't even the right word.
Now, for everything that's going on with the U.S. against Sweden, preparing for that match, potentially winning the group, if the U.S. winds up winning the group, everybody's been hyping about this for God knows how long, the potential quarterfinal against France. France, while good, has also had a little bit of luck come their way, thanks to our good old friend, our buddy, our pal, VAR. I'm going to be the first one to say, with the new law of the game to where the goalkeeper has to have 1 foot on the line up until the penalty kick is actually taken, I like that VAR is reviewing those, and to me, those calls have been correct. I have not had too much to gripe about with VAR this tournament.
I have not either. But are you ready for a rant?
Hey, I'm sitting back. The floor is yours.
So, let's talk about VAR. VAR is finding things in the game that haven't quite been here before. And I've been on Twitter a lot. I see a lot of players themselves saying, wow, like, we didn't even know this about soccer, and we've played all of these years. How did I not know the rules? The thing that is unfortunate about VAR in the World Cup is that this is essentially VAR's crash course in women's soccer. For the men's World Cup, you have VAR being used already in MLS. You have it being used in the USL. They had it I don't remember who they were playing, but on a New York Red Bulls penalty or something. It was their second team. They had it used. They had it used in the Bundesliga, and they had it used in the 2017 Confederations Cup. So you have these quote-unquote courses already down for VAR and have it being tested. The women don't have that. This is their crash course. There's no big tournament with not just 4 nations, because you're not going to use VAR in the She Believes Cup, in the Tournament of Nations. It's not going to happen. There's no, I don't know if I'd classify the Confed Cup as a major tournament, but you still have 8 different national teams. You don't have a major tournament before the Women's World Cup that's going to see VAR being tested out. VAR was begged and pleaded to have for the women's game. It's here. Is it unfortunate that there's no crash course tournament for VAR? I mean, granted, they possibly could have used it for the Algarve Cup up in Portugal that happens every year, but a lot of teams didn't compete in that this year because they were busy prepping for the World Cup. The calls have been correct. I have not had any problems with VAR in this World Cup, because I think the calls are right. There's new additions to the game every day. These aren't, comparing this to something like the NFL, these are not radical new rule changes that are happening where you have that happening in, say, the NFL and other leagues. It's finding stuff in the game that you haven't seen before because you never had the technology to see it before. I get that fans and fangirls have their favorite players, but just because your favorite team and your favorite player doesn't get on the right side of VAR doesn't mean that VAR should just go away forever. I would love to see VAR in the NWSL. I'd love to see VAR over in the UEFA Women's Champions League. I would love to see it in those tournaments like the She Believes Cup, the Tournament of Nations. I want to see it in the Olympics next year. VAR is not a bad thing. VAR is a good thing. VAR is a great thing. And having it at that World Cup is that one step closer to equality. The equality that we all want. Not just one side of the spectrum, it's what we all want. you can't have equality with VAR just because you're mad about a certain player or certain team getting knocked out of the tournament because VAR caught something that they were doing wrong.
I mean, in all of that, I have to say, very well done. 9.5 bonus points on the side. But you're absolutely right. How many times have I said, and everybody, even in Champions League, oh, well, this happened with Manchester City, you should get rid of VAR, or, oh, Manchester United caught a break, or VAR, and all this and that. No, it's going to happen. This is how it works. We say this all the time about even replay calls, what should and shouldn't be, and what referees get right and wrong in the NFL, in the NBA, in all kinds of other sports. Is it a boost? Yes. Is it perfect? No. It's never going to be perfect. It's not designed to be perfect because we're still leaving people in charge. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and something you got to think about too was, I mean, how long before the tournament did they say VAR was happening? I think maybe 2 months, if that. So you're getting all of these referees a major, 8-week, if that, crash course on VAR. That's not enough time. That's absolutely not enough time. And most, if not all, I believe, the referees in these matches are female referees. Mm-hmm. Some of the VAR referees are male referees, but all of the field referees are female. And there's that one that is in the Bundesliga, which has VAR, but you're talking one out of how many? I mean, that's just, the numbers and the crash courses. It's definitely not fair that VAR didn't get a crash course, but at the same time, you can't just give that crash course during the She Believes Cup where only Australia, England, Japan, and I don't remember the other team, Brazil, I think it was, and Brazil and the United States are the ones that are open to it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, it's like, okay, you may have had this in the Women's European Championships. Why didn't you? You know you're going to have this in the Olympics. Well, you need something beforehand. With VAR and it being introduced in the men's game, a lot of these leagues and tournaments had at least a year saying, hey, this is coming, this is being developed. You can't, as you said, all of a sudden shorten that down to 2 months. That's really not fair, and you're going to get bumps. And I honestly applaud how well it's worked because you have that such a limited time frame.
Definitely.
Oh, now, as we wind down this episode of the show, we deal with the winding down of the Women's World Cup. And that means bracket time.
Whoop whoop.
As it stands right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11? Because I could have sworn there was a 12th team that has clinched their ticket to the round of 16.
Well, you've got the... Let's see. What? No, I think we're still at 11. Maybe there's a 12 somewhere? I don't know, but I know Brazil and China are the third place teams that are confirmed.
Yes, thanks to the first, I believe not just the first group ever with 3 teams on 6 points, but the first group ever in the Women's World Cup to be decided on goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, Group C, and then all of a sudden Group D was like, hey, not so fast, blam. Oh, just poor Argentina.
They need a miracle. They need a miracle.
If they only had like an extra minute and maybe snuck through that 4th goal, that would have just been crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got a New Zealand team that also, you see Cameroon on that list, but New Zealand in that group also hasn't won a game, and they have never won a World Cup game. They've been this is their 4th World Cup, I believe. They've never won a match. So the male ferns? The male ferns are going to be hungry, and they're going to really want to get that win. And Cameroon made it to the knockouts in 2015, and you know that they're going to try to get back there again.
Yeah, and then on the other side of the coin, you've got Chile. After doing what they did to the U.S. in the second half, they're really going to be hungry for all the talk of them and basically the country not having a team for 2 years. And Thailand, how or even can they put an 18-1 deficit in 2 matches beforehand? Could they potentially get a miracle 3 points and prove something to their nation? There's a lot more intrigue than we even give this credit for going into these last couple of match days.
Thailand would have a really hard mountain to climb because of their goal differential, but I mean, Nigeria isn't even safe either, because if you think, you see the goal differential for Cameroon, I mean, all they have to do is score a few goals over New Zealand, get the 3 points, and they bump Nigeria out, too. I think no matter what, I think Chile is going to take that 4th spot. I think that 3rd spot is either going to go to Cameroon or New Zealand or Nigeria.
As it stands, you've got Brazil, China through, Nigeria, 3 points with a goal difference of -2. That's the magic number for everyone to think about. And then Argentina, they unfortunately only have the 2 points, despite the fact that they're the first team ever to even get any sort of result coming from 3-0 down. So everybody's going to be breaking out their calculators, abacai, counting on fingers and toes, what have you. As it stands, Cameroon's goal difference is only -3. If they win just by 2 goals, Argentina's out, Nigeria gets bumped down to the bowl. And then Chile, with their goal difference of -5, given what Thailand has already unfortunately been through, if they win by 2 or 3 goals, now all of a sudden they're at -2. They're right in contention. So there's a lot to play for.
There's a lot of math.
That's exactly why I'm here.
Thank God. You better believe Brazil and China are having a huge sigh of relief that they don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, but even still, you look at Brazil, they're from Group C. Looking at the knockout bracket, they're either going to play Germany or France.
Double oof.
And then China, well, they're in Group B. Looking at that bracket, they're either going to play England or Italy. Of all teams, Italy.
Who is red hot right now.
Yeah, and with everything, since we've only got now 4 matches in the group stage left, we've only got 1 confirmed round of 16 matchup, and that's going to be one of the first ones of the round of 16, Saturday, Norway and Australia.
Ooh, that'll be good. I'm giving it to Norway. I just don't think Australia's defense is good.
Yeah, but you don't know. Sam Kerr pulling off a little bit.
Yeah, but I trust Norway's defense more than I trust Australia's.
Okay.
They kept it tight with France.
Okay, all I'm saying is...
She's a superwoman, though.
Yes, and the Matildas, I'm not 100% counting them out. I can't.
Not with the power of Kerr.
Nope. But then and you've got England awaiting their opponent, Spain awaiting their opponent, even though they're going to have to play the winners of Group F. That could potentially be a fun one.
I mean, if it's the U.S., we only beat them by 1 in January.
Exactly. For all the talk about U.S. France, we would have to play Spain to get to them. And then potentially the Norway-England winner? That is not a good half of the bracket for the U.S. Not good.
Especially not with how the Lionesses played over the USA in, I think, March.
And then you have the other half of the bracket. That one's honestly wide open. Italy against the third-place team. Whoever winds up winning Group E, they're playing Japan. Germany against the third-place team, and then your Group E and F runners-up.
Madness.
I don't know. It's one to where everything is just sort of tilted, and even with Germany, that bottom half of the bracket is just up for grabs.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, it's... Oof. That's a fun bracket.
Yeah, so
I'm excited.
Anybody out there who put down at a minus 240 for the U.S. to finish in the top 4, think carefully. Now, granted, if you really went nuts and put them to plus 185 to win, hey, more power to you, but personally, I think you wasted your money. That's just my opinion.
That's with Erik.
But alas, enough of my gambling talk. You'll see more of that on Twitter as things progress. And yes, you think I'm wrong with any of these bets, or you want to curse me out or whatever, come at me, at Squid Sportshead. Any of you Vegas Sharps or who are really wanting to challenge me on how right I am with the Asian handicap, let's have a chat. I'm right here. Bring it.
Those are fighting words.
Look, I only have to be right 60% of the time, and me knowing math as well as I do, I'd like to think I've been right more than 60% so far. I'm just saying. But aside from that, another Soccer to the Max, myself, at Rachael Recruiter on Twitter, if you want to follow her and enjoy her wonderful coverage for Last Word on Soccer. She's really been killing it lately, I'm not going to lie.
Thank you, thank you.
And until then, we shall continue with the madness, and long may the summer of soccer continue.
Let's go, Team Chaos.
Peace!
See ya.